Welcome to Build Brunch, the daily morning show where we talk about the latest topics in pop culture. I'm Brittany Jones-Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Allie Colbert.
And I'm Lucas Tim. Hi, everyone.
Woo! Today we're going to talk about Keeping Up with the Kardashians' most dramatic trailer yet, how Sex and the City is making a comeback to television, and NASA's dream role for those looking for a job. Plus, Jennifer Nettles joins the table to discuss her new single.
Yeah.
But first, I wanted to talk about a very random story about. Have you guys heard about this beach in France that is like literally like for decades, Garfield phones have been washing up on the shore and everyone was like, that's weird. We don't know why.
And now we know why.
Yeah, they finally figured it out.
And what's the reason?
So the reason is that there was a shipping container full of these phones that got lost in the sea, and it ended up in this cave that was you can only access it when it was like low level waters. And so they've just been like, basically like washing up whenever you want.
Like years now.
For 30 years.
For 30 years.
That is so weird that we like didn't know that, but we just kept reading like, huh.
Yeah, like I'm sure people were like, it must mean something.
Yeah, I want to see the Netflix documentary special on the Garfield phones and the population dealing with the trauma and like where like the mystery of where they're coming
Leaving
from.
Garfield.
Leaving Garfield.
Literally, like the local detectives just like in their offices drinking whiskey, like we cannot solve this case.
True crime. Honestly, it's so funny.
I feel like this would make a really good show where it's like nostalgic things just wash up ashore and you have to like figure out like what does it mean? Why is this happening to me?
I just thought that it was so pervasive that it became like an environmental issue. Like a local litter company was like, we've got to solve this because these things will never decompose. They're like hard 80s plastic. Like there's nothing good about it.
Yeah, that is so weird. Also, where was that shipment like meant to be? Why was the shipment?
Whole bunch of kids never got their Garfield
And
phone.
France, those poor kids, maybe they're adults now, and they're like, I can't speak French. My Garfield phone. Bonjour!
Wait, we're like, we love pizza. You know French people.
Wait, didn't Garfield love spaghetti?
Yeah. Oh, lasagna.
Lasagna, that's what it is.
I love lasagna.
Maybe it was headed down to
you're
Italy.
Garfield.
And then down to Italy. That makes more sense.
Somehow we just always come back to food.
I love it. Speaking of food, it was the war over the bagel emoji first, but now what seemed like an innocent tweet depicting bagels sliced vertically is tearing the internet apart. For many, this act is far from the greatest thing since sliced bread, with the NYPD calling the photo a straight-up crime, and athlete Gus Kenworthy describing it as anti-Semitic. So I'm sure many of you have seen this photo going around. I personally think that what they did was horrifying.
It is horrific.
You can't even cut New York bagels
Yeah, first
that way.
of all.
I think this is something that you definitely ask the people behind the counter to do for you. I'm not trying to be a weak-ass bitch with spaghetti arms, but like, this is hard.
But what's so funny is like
lasagna.
the guy who originated was like, I shared with my coworkers a St. Louis secret. Okay, you know what also is a New York secret? Like peeing anywhere you want, but we're not proud of that. That's not a fucking secret to brag about, asshole. I read, I was like, get over yourself. That's not a good secret.
You know what? So I'm gonna take the opposite side. I think oftentimes I cannot eat an entire bagel. I end up just eating half of it. And so these are just like, look, I just cut it. It's like a nice little slice. You put a little cream cheese, maybe some like salmon on it. It's just like these little bites. They're bagel bites.
Well, yeah, they already make those. Bagel chips exist, which are amazing.
Bagel chips suck.
I like anything bagel.
It tastes like you're eating a cardboard box.
I like
They are
anything
too
bagel.
hard. I always feel like I'm gonna like break a tooth, not to be like, I'm Gypsy Rose Blanchard, my teeth are so weak, you know? But they are.
Wow, this bagel is so good.
Where's this bagel from?
Oh, I don't know.
Also, just so everyone, the bagels are from Panera, so we shouldn't freak out that much. They're Panera.
Which is originally the
Yeah.
St. Louis bread company.
Well, again, that
I'm
explains
just
a lot.
saying, St. Louis they are known for maybe some of their bread and bagels, and we shouldn't knock
St.
this.
Louis is not known for bagels. Don't
They're not
say
known
something
for
like that.
anything.
Guys, I said bread,
What?
okay?
That's true. It is. And bagels
Our
are bread.
Right.
Which is crazy. I didn't know that really until
Yes.
today.
Guess how many slices of bread make one bagel?
18,
More than 2, less than 18.
12.
Less than 12.
5?
6.
Okay.
Wow.
God,
Slices
really?
of bread. So that's just something to know about your morning bagel intake.
Wow.
It's a lot of
Six
carbs.
slices of bread, that's a lot of carbs to start your day. So maybe sharing a bagel or having a piece of it, that might be a better choice.
I
Yeah,
agree.
that's actually really good and really healthy.
Find the
Yeah.
bagel friend.
Find a bagel friend.
She also said that the way they cut them like that because they have all these like assorted different types of spreads. So that this way you can have like one bagel with like 10 different spreads, which I kind of like because I always make my bagel dude cut the bagel in half and give me half cream cheese with scallions and half butter.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a great idea. Initially, I wanted to hate on it, but now I love trying. I love sampling. So I know you do too, Fatty.
It's not a good way to eat a bagel.
I don't know if we're in an office environment where there's like maybe not enough bagels to go around. Everybody gets a piece. Everybody gets to try the
No, you cut it in the fourth. You can cut it in half and you cut it again.
Just quarter it. Just
that
quarter
is this is disgusting. Okay.
I don't know. I'm okay with it.
You've seen me
Just
rally against.
Obviously, you're okay with it, Nebraska.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I'm sorry.
But I'm all for like sharing with my friends if that makes me a bad person.
Like I won't be surprised.
No, that's an argumentative fallacy. You're changing.
No, that was just a nice Nebraskan response.
No, we're not arguing that we don't like to be nice.
I will gladly share a bagel with any friend of mine in the proper cutting form. Okay?
I do love that. Like a lot of people in the food industry, a lot of chefs and cooks, they were like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
Like, so I think people in the food community maybe is who we should look to, and they think this is a horrible idea.
Exactly.
So anyway,
Okay.
Moving on, a new trailer for the upcoming season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians has been released, featuring a dramatic look at Khloe and Tristan's relationship and the family's thoughts on their public personas. Take a look.
This season on Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
It just sucks it has to be so public. I'm not just a TV show. Like, this is my life. You'll put me down just to make yourself not look lame.
Moving to Chicago might be my breaking point.
My family was ruined! Here's to Jordan and Kylie.
Tristan might love me, whatever that means. He has no respect for me whatsoever.
How many people have you been in love with?
One.
I didn't think that I was gonna have happiness again.
Wow.
I mean, I feel like the Game of Thrones trailer was less
Kanye's
dramatic than that.
Yeah.
I'm for the first time with Kanye on something. He's like, these bitches are crazy. I'm going to Africa and I'm just gonna like dance.
Is that his Sunday service?
Yes, I think so.
Is that a cult? Like, is
Wouldn't be
what's happening?
It could, you know what though? It could be.
Yeah.
All we're seeing is the music. We don't know what is going on
Right.
Telling you, man,
otherwise.
something's going on.
I don't know why they cut the trailer this way because I've seen trailers in the past for the show and they're dramatic and kind of like interesting, but they're not this
Desperate.
stupid looking.
Right.
I am like I know we've talked about this before, but I'm just like so over the Kardashians. Like 3 different times they're like, we have no privacy. My life isn't a show. I'm like, actually it is, and you made it happen. You literally told us to keep up with you, and now you're like, why are you so interested in me? Bitch, you're sending me mixed signals.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
Yeah, I'm like, because you told me to be obsessed with you. You changed our entire country, and now you just expect us to forget about it?
They changed our entire country for the worst, guys.
Yeah.
I blame them for so many of the atrocities we see on social media. I'm just like, when can we cancel them? They've been canceled in my eyes for years. I would just love for this to be the end.
Not when King Midas, Ryan Seacrest is making cajillions off them.
Yeah.
They're never getting canceled.
I just want to clarify that, like, I can't wait to watch.
I know you can't.
Like, I know this is horrible. They've impacted things in a negative way, but they're so entertaining.
I mean, Kim
they not? I feel like they aren't.
Well, Kim Kardashian's one of the top advisors to the President of the United States at this point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if they're ever getting canceled. They have extreme power, and we just have to live in their kingdom.
Yeah, if you need a pardon.
I'm actually, like, I fight for so much justice. Like, I am, women's rights, healthcare, and everything with the Kardashians. I give up. Can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't. I can't. I embrace, and I just let them win.
It's like, I really wish that we could see them like spend a week where no one's like paid them any attention and see them just like wilt away and be like, whoa, my power.
Yeah.
Oh, no one is trying to take a photograph of me. And they're always complaining about the paparazzi, but like 99.9% of the time, they have hired the paparazzi and told them where they're gonna be. And I'm just like, you guys are so fake.
Yeah, like we've discussed with like Amelia Clark and her health struggles and how that was kept privately until she was ready to speak about it. You can keep things in your life private if you want to.
Yeah.
So when people give them sympathy for maybe how some of their stories play out in the public, it's sort of like you guys have control over that.
Well, that's always something I talk about, like when you see a celebrity in public, do you approach them? And I always said, if you see a reality TV star, just go up to them because what they've signed up for is so different than what a movie star or singer signed for.
Or
like
a
Real
musician.
Housewife, 99% of the time, loves the fucking attention.
Yeah.
Like when I saw Lisa Vanderpump sitting in the middle of Pump in a pink chair surrounded by people, like literally she was asking for it, right? So Kardashians, yes, they've become superstars based off reality TV, but still, you're a reality TV star, it's kind of what you signed up for.
Yeah, on that note, I saw Sarah Bareilles, a musician that I love and respect profoundly, walking on the street yesterday, and I let her go in peace. By the way, she was walking and singing as you would expect Sarah Bareilles to be doing.
I'm not gonna write you a love song.
And I was just like, look at her. She's in her. I'm gonna leave her alone because she is somebody who just like presents herself with this honor that I'm like, I'm gonna let her have that time.
She's
Versus
literally.
if it's a reality star, you go up and you
What was
accost
she
them.
singing?
I don't know, but it was just like so gentle and beautiful.
Oh my God, I love it. She's walking in literally with a guitar, like just like
I'm
asking,
not gonna
join in, Brittany, join in. Brittany's like, no, I respect you. I respect you. And she's
Say
like, no.
what you wanna say. Yeah.
She's like, come on, Brittany, come on. Like, no, you have your time.
The thing is, I respect her enough to leave her alone.
Yeah.
And that's because she has put that out, you know what I mean?
Just a quick Sarah Bareilles thing. When I was in high school, all the girls changed the lyrics to that song to I'm not gonna give you a blowjob if you ask for
Feminism.
it. If you need one. You see?
So, like, were they saying that they were just gonna give a blowjob when someone doesn't want one? Because that's assault. In other news, a Sex and the City follow-up is officially in development, but it's not what you would expect. Paramount TV has announced that it is developing a TV series based on Candace Bushnell's Is There Still Sex in the City? An upcoming novel that picks up where the original series left off. Is there still sex in the city?
You know,
So I want to focus in that this is going to be focusing on women over 50. I want to make the point that they don't have to do it for women over 50. Dating in the city sucks at any age.
Yeah.
Right. So-
I was surprised they were gonna continue it for like women in their 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just took me by surprise. Just because as a woman, once you're 50, you don't matter.
you're
I'm kidding.
Yeah, she's joking.
He's
guys.
joking.
Like,
I feel like there's some new people in the crowd and they were like, she's a little monster. Like, no, she's just joking around.
yeah, I mean, I guess this is their audience, though. Most of the women who watched Sex City when it came out are in their 50s. And
Are they?
Yeah, I mean, and also I think 50 is the new 30, and we want to, hey, who want hot 50-year-old women just kind of walk around the city trying to have sex? It's fun, right?
What
Watch it.
network is this airing on?
It's Paramount TV's developing it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, Paramount TV, I guess they have a few shows at Yellowstone that does pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
They had that American
American Women?
Women one that got canceled with Alicia
That was
Silverstone.
older women being sexual.
Yeah.
Right.
It is a
70s.
female-driven narrative, which I'll always support. You know, I think relying on the Sex and the City franchise to me feels a little lazy. I think Candace Bushnell has created all these other worlds that she didn't have to maybe go back to Sex and the City.
But she's written 25 books. They all got adapted. The Carrie Diaries got adapted. There were some other I never read. I don't
Lipstick
read.
Jungle.
Lipstick Jungle.
I read her book.
That lasted a
yeah.
season in Sex and the City. So I mean, this woman pops them out. I
She
mean,
does. I read her book 1/5.
like
She
Elizabeth
writes
Warren
them
popping out
Like,
policy.
another book. Yeah, she's just making books.
She writes it well, and it's not a knock to her. I think she could still create a book that could go to a show. Just going back to the Sex and the City thing to me feels really lazy. It's just so done.
More than lazy, I just feel like she's gonna have to correct there's a lot of wrongs that need to be corrected,
Right.
and people are looking for that. So I'm curious if the cast will be diverse, how they will handle sexuality, gender.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much of that Sex and the City, even though people loved it and I enjoyed it, they missed the mark on it.
Totally, because it was a late 90s, early 2000s show.
And just to follow women.
When gay people didn't exist.
Exactly.
Gay people legally
That's
weren't
so
allowed
crazy.
to be
They're
themselves.
brand new.
They're
They're brand spanking new.
Just met my
Will
first
and
one
Grace
couple
was
weeks ago.
considered. Will and Grace was a fantasy when that was out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a sitcom.
real?
It was a Game of Thrones type fantasy. Yeah, I think with women, you know, I just want them to explore more like the professional aspect of women in their 50s. Now, I think we're seeing a whole art like it's just different now with women having like second acts and doing really great things. We have how many women running for president? Most of them all over 50.
Yeah.
Like there's, I would like to see more of that, more of like the power of women in their 50s.
So you want to see them not having sex, you want to see them doing business.
Working.
in pantsuits, doing business,
Okay,
making
great.
policy. That is entertaining to me.
So
Who
the
wants-
answer is no, there's no more Sex in the City.
Yeah,
There's
it's
just
Elizabeth
us
Warren in a
focusing on our
blazer
jobs.
saying, I want to raise taxes
we
on
know
the rich.
that
You
is
should
sexual
make
for
Sex
him.
in the City too for a 20-year-old man.
Yeah.
Do it. Just do it.
Just do it for me.
Don't do it for the 3 women
But
on
we
the couch.
do know that that is a turn on for Lucas.
Yeah,
it's
it
like
is.
a woman in her 60s in a power suit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Every day Elizabeth Warren announces new policy proposal, I'm like, holy shit, this woman is fucking incredible. I mean, what's
Literally,
next?
Elizabeth
Healthcare. It's public college. It's like, oh my God, keep it coming, Elizabeth Warren.
That's foreplay for him. So, you know, it works for some people.
Your hair looks so good, Lucas.
Oh, thanks. I'm gonna get a haircut next week, guys. Need money, but don't want to get out of bed? Well, there's a dream job out there for you. NASA's looking for volunteers to lay in bed for 2 months, but there's a catch. All activities, including eating, showering, going to the bathroom, and playing video games, must be performed while in bed rest. So for a lot of you, maybe thinking, wow, dream job. You get paid roughly $18,000 in 6 months, but you must know how to speak German.
Yeah.
For 2 months, I thought.
I think it's 2 months of time.
2 months of time? 60
Yeah.
days.
60
I'm sorry, you're right.
days, but you're in it for 89, I think, because
Yes,
there's like,
you're right.
like on the backside, they have to reacclimate you to society because all of your muscles will have atrophied because this is a horrible idea.
I would never do this.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it at all. You think, oh, we're gonna be sleeping, I can like watch Netflix and get high. You cannot do that, okay?
Well, you
You're
can't
gonna be
smoke
in a
weed?
lab with no windows. People are gonna be poking your body and being like, oh, is she still flabby? Yes, she is.
Yeah.
And they tilt the bed like,
6 degrees.
Yeah, 6 degrees like on your head. So like all your fluids in your body and your blood is like going to your head. You're gonna look nasty.
Yeah.
This sounds like a nightmare. I would do this for $2 million. Like this is so, you're so underpaid for all of your muscles to be.
Right.
Well, you're a lab rat.
Yeah.
And that's nobody, I'm not a lab rat. You can't do experiments on me. You can't be poking and prodding me. I'm like, this is kind of sick.
Yeah, I've
They should pay
tried.
people a lot.
I've really tried to poke and prod you, and you're so difficult to get to.
I don't like being experimented on.
Well, it's to understand how artificial gravity can affect the human body. So it's supposed to see how, astronauts
Yeah.
and long-term space travel, how no gravity can affect the body. So I guess for science, but yeah, it seems like these people will leave with a lifetime of effects that they will never get over.
Yeah.
And the 18 grand may not be worth
Yeah.
it.
Well, do you remember when astronaut Kelly, he has a twin here, and so they sent him to space, and his twin was down here, and he came back after a
Down
year.
here.
Sorry, on Earth. And he came back after a year, and he had like shrunk an inch, and some of his muscles had atrophied. The composition of his entire body
Wait,
changed.
the space guy? Or
The space guy.
Right.
So that's what they're trying to basically recreate on Earth. But coming back, that guy had like a hard time walking. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's like
do
after,
all astronauts experience that?
if you're in space for an
So long.
extended amount of time, it does change your body.
I never want to go to space. When I
I
saw that,
feel the same
when I saw that
way.
Sandra Bullock movie Gravity, I walked out of that thing. That was great. I saw that because I never have to go to space ever in my life. If that movie, you walk away and go, I want to go to space still, you are crazy.
I completely agree.
Like the bagels.
I love your double.
What is wrong with Earth? Why are you trying to go to the moon?
Oh, we're
Yes.
killing it, honey. We're killing it.
We
That's
are
what's wrong with it.
No, but like, why do
It's
you...
dying. We're actively killing it.
Yeah.
No, but why are you trying to go to the moon? Like, what's with the moon? People, like, little kids are always like, I want to go to the moon. I was always like, I want to go to the couch. Like,
Yeah.
fine.
Respect the moon. I like doing rituals for the moon, but I don't
Right.
want to be on the moon. There's nothing really going on there, you guys.
No, it's a raw.
Yeah, also you can astral project. You can like project your soul to other places, and that's way better because this like meaty like package that we're in won't get messed up.
Right.
Because this is temporary, it's not that good. If you're like me, I'm already like, I can't walk. Like I'm not good at walking. So if I went to space, like I would just be like a fruit roll up, but like less hot.
Yeah, not
You'd
even a
come
good
back-
flavor.
Yeah.
You would come back being able just to roll you in a.
Yeah, like,
oh, there's shit. We just rolled her out.
She's just Gumby.
She's just
Yeah.
gonna be.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
we need to focus on Earth
Yeah.
right now and fix the
Earth
problems that are
matters.
affecting
Guys,
Earth.
call your local Congress people. We're killing our Earth.
Yeah,
we need
yeah.
to like
No.
change our policies. Real talk, guys.
But
Talk. And now it is time for today's guest. Jennifer Nettles is a Grammy Award-winning country superstar, actress, and women's activist. Her new single, I Can Do Hard Things, is a groundbreaking track which speaks to how women overcome life's challenges every day. Everyone please give a warm Build Brunch welcome to Jennifer Nettles.
Oh my God, I love this look.
thanks for coming on. How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I am so good. Hello.
Welcome.
I am
You look gorgeous.
Yeah,
I love this outfit.
Hey,
I'm gonna copy this outfit.
Color. I'm into the color.
Yes,
I have to
that's
tell
great.
you this, by the way. I was backstage watching, and I want you to know I texted Sarah because we are dear friends, and I said, Brittany, I want you to know I'm here at AOL. Brittany saw you on the street. Allie has a parody of I'm not gonna give you a blowjob, and I just really feel like, yeah, I think she's gonna be blown away. No pun intended.
Jennifer, can you hold me right now? I don't think I can deal with
yes.
that news. That's amazing that Sarah Bareilles has even heard my name.
We are big Sarah Bareilles.
We love her. We really are.
Thanks.
We love you too.
I'm happy to be here.
Oh my God, that's so funny. So tell us about your new single, I Can Do Hard Things.
Well, now I'm all into the sexual parody, which this one would just fit right into I Can Do Hard Things.
We can write that today.
It's already, I mean, it's already got the title, works. No, okay, so mine, back into the present. Okay, so I Can Do Hard Things. Really, I think at the end of the day, this song has become a community for women across the board. And I wrote it at a time where I was going through a hard time. Imagine it. It inspired some music in me. And it is about the reality that, you know, we're made for hard things, just like we are the joyous ones, and we can do it. We just have to get through it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And what was that writing process like?
I started writing it on an airplane and I actually wrote the song 2 years ago, and songwriting can happen in so many different ways. I love your Gloria Steinem.
Oh, thank
I love them so much. I want them.
Give them to her.
Yes, sorry. I'm easily distracted. Let me put these on. How do these look? Somebody put me.
Oh my God.
Oh, you look fantastic.
Oh, those work.
So good.
Those
Yeah,
work.
this is gonna happen.
Yeah,
Actually,
this
it's gonna happen sooner than later because I'm about to need readers. Don't tell anybody. But thank you.
I can't put these on after you. Not like a bag of trash wearing glasses.
You are a babe. Okay, so I can do hard things. I should be focused on what I'm gonna talk about, but I'm not. I'm just having a ball with you guys. Yeah, I wrote it 2 years ago, and I think for me it's one of those things, when I was younger, I thought that things were this dichotomous duality of either good or bad, right or wrong. Sometimes that's an easy, tempting place to fall into, right? And I realized as I've gotten older, everything is everything.
I love
Everything is everything. And there are decisions that we have to make that sometimes feel bad, even though they're leading us to our happiness, you know, that it isn't just this place that we go from one thing to another, but most of our lives are lived in the gray and in the transition.
That's true.
Yeah. And you're amazingly
As hard as it is.
vulnerable in this song, but you also wrote something for medium.com, sort of explaining even deeper.
Yeah.
So why was that important for you to express your story through words as well in an article?
You know what? I love that nowadays, just as we're even sitting here, the immediacy that artists get in being able to share their stories. And I think being able to put my own inspiration for this song into words in essay form, I think that for me had a direct impact. Then it's like people have a frame of reference that actually comes from my mouth, you know, that isn't necessarily someone who might be reviewing it or listen to the song giving their own perspective, which is also super important. But it allows, I think, a bit of insight into what the inspiration of the song was, and possibly lets people connect to it on a different level.
Yeah, and have you had feedback then from your fans?
The response has been awesome. Immediately we started to get, you know, text, yes, we're friends, but tweets and on Instagram, just responses and replies saying like, this is my story, and either I'm going through cancer and I can do hard things, or, you know, I'm going through a divorce, or I have to care for my ailing mother, or I'm trying to graduate school, or whatever it may be, whatever hard things. Look, for some people, we know the reality is that it's hard just to get through a day.
Yeah.
Okay? So if we could all be there for each other and have this sense of community, I think we would all be very well served in that way. And I was reading a book, imagine it, by a woman named Glennon Doyle called Love Warrior. Do you love her?
Yeah, she's very inspiring.
She's the best. She's super inspiring. And in her book, she addresses this and says this, that we are made for hard things. And that was part of, at the time I was reading the book, super inspired by that. Go get her book. It's fantastic if you want your life changed and to feel like a warrior. Goddess, queen.
I love that. And then there was also a campaign that was associated with the music video. So can you talk us through that filming process? And
yes, I can. So inspirationally, the video itself, as we started to get all these responses messages and replies and started to hear everybody's story, we realized like, oh, this is what this song is about.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking I'm just writing my own little vulnerabilities and truth in here, you know, and the reality is it's everybody's story. So we said, let's take this even further and make this invitation broader. This video features like 7 different women, each with their own hard things that they're doing. One of them is a firefighter. One of them is a music executive who broke the glass ceiling. One of them is a woman who is adopting a child as a single mom on her own. One of them is a transgender woman. I mean, it goes on and on. One of them is Me Too survivor. So all of these bits and pieces form this beautiful tapestry of women's stories, and I'm loving it.
I think what's so great about the song when I watched the video, what I loved about it is that often women, in order to think to be successful, they have to pretend to be perfect. I remember when Secretary Clinton was running in 2008, and she said, admittedly, this is really hard, and she teared up, and it was a really big moment for her. I think what this song, what I love about it, I think what you're trying to do is allowing women to be, yes, we are exceptional, but we can admit this is hard, and it's okay that we're struggling through this.
Oh yeah, big time. And I think too, as women, you know, not only are we supposed to be perfect, we're also supposed to act like we like it all.
Right.
And the reality is, no, we don't, and it's okay. And for example, in the second verse of this song, I talk about becoming a mom and how it really rocked my world in a lot of ways. And that, yeah, I've gained joy that I had never had before, but I also lost the lightness of when I was a girl in a way. And in some of those ways, that's a way to say it's both good and it's bad. Like, it's fantastic. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But it's also really hard. And to say that it's hard has no bearing on my love for my kid, right?
Yeah.
It's just that some things are hard and we don't have to like it all, even though we choose them.
Yeah, growth can be painful. Yeah,
growth is usually painful. If you're not scared, you're not only not paying attention, but you're not growing.
I agree.
I imagine it was not easy being now, getting where you are. You're, of course, part of the multi-platinum, award-winning band Sugarland. You've won many Grammys. Like, what does it feel to be at this level of success at this point in your career?
You know what, Lucas? I'm making choicey choices right now, and I am so happy to be at a point in my career where I can. You know, at first you're just out there in the hustle, in the hustle, in the hustle. You're just trying to make your name for yourself and make it known. And then now I'm in a place where I've established that foundation, so I'm able to really make these other choices, and I'm able to dig into more as, as in my advocacy work and as an activist. I'm able to dig in more to my theater and to my TV and film and branch out in all those ways of storytelling that I hope are going to continue to touch people and challenge me.
And speaking of film, you are part of a really highly anticipated film, Harriet.
I can't wait!
All-star cast of just like superstars.
Yeah. Boss.
I know you can't spoil a lot of the movie, but can you tell us a little bit about it? Just tease a little bit?
Yes, so it is Focus Features. I was a part of the film Harriet, which is about the life of Harriet Tubman. It is such an important film for so many reasons. I believe that the past is prologue, and if we don't remember our mistakes, we are more apt to repeat them. So please, let's remember where we've come from. Even if those mistakes are hard to hold, we can do hard things, America! Okay, so there's that piece. I also think that it's important because she's such an iconic hero. She is a hero, like for our country and our history. Yeah, the ultimate. So for those two reasons, the story itself is so worthy of being out there on the big screen. But then you mentioned the cast. It's like Cynthia Erivo is Harriet. She is a monster.
She's a force.
She's so good. Leslie Odom Jr., Janelle Monáe, Joe Alwyn. And you get to see me play a character you would not normally associate me with, which is super fun and crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you mentioned, of course, theater. You were Roxy Hart in Chicago on Broadway, which was, again, iconic.
Thank you.
Way of doing really a lot of iconic things. What was it like being on Broadway?
I loved it. I loved it so much, and since then have continued to plant my seeds in this theater community here. And I'm currently writing a musical, which I'm super thrilled about. I've always wanted to do. These things take a long time, but as it continues to develop, I will be back on here to tell you more about it. But I will say, speaking of ladies and in doing hard things, it is a story of women who are quite unconventional, of love and death and redemption.
Well, if you need a chorus, we will join.
Yes, I do.
We're really great vocalists.
Yeah, we are.
Yes.
We have a lot of heart.
Yeah.
We have a lot of
Oh,
heart.
we're all heart.
Yeah, that counts. That counts the most, babe. The most.
Oh my God, I just feel like you're like the most inspiring person I've ever met. Like everything you're saying, I just want to like scrapbook. I just feel like I'm just like, okay, put this on the board, put this
We
on
should
the
hang.
board.
Shannon's never gonna take these glasses off.
Well, I was like, we should hang if it's not awkward if we have the same glasses. If
No.
that's not weird for you, it's
We
not
can
weird for me.
share them.
Yeah.
Let's split them in half. I'll do anything. to
We'll
spend
get
time with you.
bifocals so that the top can be for you and the bottom can be for me. Oh God, we're such friends
This
already.
is great.
This is really
great.
good.
Yeah.
I'm
Beautiful
jealous.
moment.
Oh my gosh,
really
this has
beautiful.
been so amazing. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining
Allie's
us.
like,
Thank you so much. Everyone, make sure to check out Jennifer's new song, I Can Do Hard Things, out now. We'll see you all on Monday, same time, same table.
Bye, guys.